So I lost £160, and I will often get the question of, how did you stop binging? How did you stop emotional eating? How did you stop turning to food when you were stressed, angry, upset, all the rest of it? Because best believe I use food to cope with every single type of emotion that in any way resembled something negative my whole life. When I say I use food to cope, I mean I was the girl eating frozen lemon cheesecake out of my freezer before it even defrosted, because I had a really stressful day. And the compulsion to emotionally eat has definitely not gone away. It's definitely still there. If I feel like incredibly stressed, or I feel like panicked or anxious, like there is still that part of my brain that goes, food will fix it. Put that order in and just eat. Why don't you go and see what you've got in the kitchen? Why don't you just have one of these? Why don't you move your food around today so you can have XYZ? Like, my brain still tries to play these tricks on me and still tries to get me to turn to food, because I conditioned it for so many years that food would fix the problems. And the thing that really changed my relationship with food and made me able to better manage these types of situations was almost desensitizing myself to emotions which may be unpleasant but are completely safe and bearable. So I had to realize that I may not be to blame for why I feel a certain way. If I feel, sad or angry or frustrated, I may not be to blame for those emotions, but I am responsible for how I handle them. And I think I naturally got this trigger within me that meant that as soon as I felt something negative, there was like this panicked response in my head, and food was the only fix. And I had to learn to sit with those emotions. I had to learn to be angry and frustrated and upset. And, I hadn't been taught those things growing up particularly well, and how to manage them, or that they were okay. And so I realised when I started my weight loss journey 4 years ago that I needed to teach myself how to process and deal with those emotions. Was it easy? No. Is it something that you can find in a quick fix, a diet pill or an injection? No. It's something that you have to kind of work on. But I think what I always took real comfort in was that I realised I wasn't the problem. I wasn't broken. I just didn't have a skill. And skills can be learned in the same way I didn't want to know how to drive a car, and now I do. I just didn't know how to handle my emotions and how to respond to that automated trigger in my mind, so that I could instead process and sit with and cry about and vent about and reach out for help and support and, do all those things that we talk about. The issue was that I knew all about them, but I didn't know how to do them myself. And so that is exactly what I had to learn. And that's what I do with my clients. I was speaking to them today about how today's been a really shitty day. I had a really shitty email about my little girl, and again those voices in my head came back saying, just go and have this, or just go and do that, or just order something. And now it's in a place where I hear them, but it's almost like my brain doesn't acknowledge them. It's like I just go, oh, here they are again, like an annoying sibling coming into the room to tell you something. But they're still there. But I have just been able to give myself a lot more grace and understanding that I'm not a bad person if I feel angry. I'm not a bad person if I feel frustrated. I haven't got to people please my way through life in a way that is negative to myself. Like I said, it just really sticks with me that I may not be responsible for my situation, my emotions, or any of that, but I have a responsibility to manage them in a way that doesn't hurt me and doesn't negatively impact myself and therefore those around me. And I like to think of it as like if Poppy was sad or angry or frustrated, I wouldn't respond to her in a way that invalidated those feelings or made it worse for her. We all do it with kids now. They've got like colour monsters and all these ways in which we can help them with their emotions, but we fail to remember that we haven't actually taught ourselves those things or given ourselves those tools. So I think for me, the biggest reason why I'm able to have a better handle on my food addiction, emotional eating, binge eating, whatever you want to call it, is because I realised there were skills out there that I needed to gain, and that was going to take time. And I needed to get the right support and the right methods of doing, processing these emotions in order for me to see results. I've been sold a lie that your food issues will be fixed by what's going on in the kitchen. And the truth is it's got nothing to do with the kitchen. It's got nothing to do with what's on your plate, but it's got everything to do with what's on your mind. So if you can take responsibility for that and put plans in place and actionable steps to help improve that, that's where the magic will happen.